It's the Brian and Kindra Show with Brian Cook and Kindra Cox of Keller Williams Realty Elite.
I am Kindra Cox.
I'm Brian Cook.
Between the two of us, we have over 30 years of experience.
Sharing real estate tips and advice. Right here on Classic Hits 1073.
Hey, welcome to the Brian and Kindra Show with Kindra. And maybe in a minute we'll have Brian. So I'm Kindra Cox with Keller Williams Realty Elite. And in a minute, Brian Cook, also Keller Williams Realtor Elite, Realty Elite, is going to join us. But he is trying to do our Facebook Live and again is having technical difficulties because we've only done this every week for like 6 months. I don't know. It's weird. So thank you for joining us. We are super excited because today we are going to talk about multiple offer situations. They get kind of tense and they get super exciting. And we wanted to share how we like to handle them and our procedures. Oh, are you going to join me?
I guess.
Like we were just talking about having the Brian and Kindra Less show next week.
That's
in
right.
case I decide not to take him to work. But like...
Well, I dare you.
I didn't know we were... Absolutely not. I don't trust you. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so the Brian and Kindra Show, we're going to talk about multiple offers.
Yes.
Last week, though, was awesome. We had Connie, and Connie with Bank 7, and so we talked about refinancing, which is amazing right now because interest rates are so low. So we saw one today. It was about an $85,000 purchase price. Loan value with 2.75% interest. And
Wow.
the payment was just shy of $500 a month. What?
That's insane.
It is insane. Like, because I'm looking and I'm thinking about the house compared to rentals. And I don't think that you can find that.
There's no
I
way.
don't think you can rent that house for $500 a month.
Probably $800 a month.
I'm thinking $750, but I wouldn't argue too terrible much with you. Okay, really, I would argue all day long, but I don't need to. Like,
We might do that already.
it's awesome. I know people don't understand us. That it's just fun. Anywho, so this is a great time to buy. Like, I saw something. I think you sent me something. I was supposed to do something with. Like, I don't remember. Was it social? I have no idea what you sent me, but it said fence sitters. It's time to get going, and because right now is like the best time to buy with. Prices are pretty fair in Woodward, and we can't always say that.
Right.
Because sometimes Woodward has a really highly elevated
You have
market.
a good option. You got 94 houses on the market.
Really? I didn't realize there were that many houses on the market.
Yeah. So there's still lots of options.
That explains a few things. And then, interest is just amazing. Like, it's absolutely... I've never seen it this low.
Have 1954 or something.
No, I don't remember then.
I don't remember that either. I was a few years before my...
It's awesome. So, definitely a good time to buy. And
Yes.
then, what else have we got?
Well, I've got some numbers.
Oh, yay.
So, are we going to do that before commercial break?
Yeah, because people need a chance
Because
to
we're talking
go
about
get
buying
some caffeine.
Wake up. So here's the interesting thing. We pulled a different figure today. You did this for me because we keep track of everything.
Oh, I like these numbers. These are fun.
Who all has bought things in Woodward? So we have had 61 total closed sides. So that means a buyer and the seller in one transaction is actually two. They count as two sides. So we've dealt with 61 customers this year, not counting the 4 or 5 we're closing tomorrow. That's why I'm leaving town.
I just panicked a little bit. 4 or 5. Oh, no, I only can think of 3.
Okay. 31 buyers total. So we've, out of all those, half of them are buyers. So 6 of those bought land. 6 of those were move-up buyers. So they already owned a home. They bought a new home, bigger home or whatever.
Right. So this is like, I had 3-bed, 1.5 bath, but I really want 3-bed, 2.5 bath.
Right.
I'm a move-up buyer.
Yep. Then we had 3 relocations, which that's 3 people that moved to Woodward.
Yay. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. We had 7 first-time home buyers.
Which is so much
Took
fun.
advantage of that cheap interest. We sold 7 investment properties, so which again is cheap interest, and they're available. Like, it's hard to find a rental property to even buy.
And some of them were unusual. I mean, one of these ones on here, because I was kind of trying to look at the properties as I was looking through these numbers earlier. Like, one of those was, I mean, it was kind of a weird property to me. It was zoned commercially. It was north of the tracks, but it was in the middle of a neighborhood. It was like a manufactured home that was used for storage, and then it had a shop. Like, that was an investment.
Yes.
That was kind of unusual to me.
Yes. And then we had, we had a couple investments.
I know don't think that's a real word.
Investment
is Carrie
properties
Ann listening?
that we sold that aren't even on
Investorments?
here because they didn't even hit the MLS. And then we had 2 that downsized.
No, this is all us.
Is it? Even the one southwest of town? And then the one that
Okay, well,
WW
I
Properties
can't
bought,
really think
and
so
then the other
much.
one-
Okay,
okay.
stop. You're right. You get to be right
Okay.
this time.
So we've had
You're right.
mostly investor properties so far.
Just then, my eye got stuck whenever I rolled it a minute ago.
Yes. So then we had 2 that downsized, which there's lots of reasons to downsize. Kick all them kids out.
Oh, that's interesting.
What were you thinking?
I downsized and I kept my kids.
Oh, what were you thinking?
That's all right. I like them. Okay, so we did some numbers. Now you want to do your market report, like the real market
Let's
report.
do the real market report.
The one that makes people cry. With your music.
We're gonna see if we have
Do we
cue
have music? Oh
Oh
man.
yeah, here we go. All right. The market report for Woodward, Oklahoma. We have 94 active listings. We have 7 new listings in Woodward this week in the last 7 days. The total number pending is 42 in Northwest Oklahoma. The total number in Woodward is 29. And that we've put 10 under contract in the last 7 days. So it's been crazy. I think
It has been so crazy. The other day, Woodward County Abstract, one of our sponsors, she called and she goes, Kindra, you just sent me, I don't know if she had said 5 or 6 new orders. I'm like, yeah, I know, and I'm behind. I'm not finished yet. They said you still have another 1 or 2 coming.
So yeah, I think we counted yesterday. We have 26 pending sides right now. It's insane. We're
I agree with you.
So there's 8.8 months inventory, which is still not super healthy, but we've ran that for the last since early May. So we're still selling what we're listing. The fun thing next week is I've got a customer coming to Woodward that's looking for a $300,000-ish 4-bedroom house, and there's only 5 to choose from. So
That's crazy.
it is. Now I know of some that I'm going to beat down some doors this weekend and line them up.
So if you guys know that your house is in the $300,000 range, you might as well start cleaning.
You might as well. I'm headed.
You
to
might
your
even
house.
consider packing.
Yeah, I'll be at your house soon. 4-bedroom, please. So I guess if you want to sell one of them 4 bedrooms, give me a shout. So let's do a quick commercial break and get back to this multiple offers discussion.
I'm excited about it. We'll see you in a minute.
Comfort Zone is a multi-generational company serving Northwest Oklahoma in commercial and residential needs. Plumbing, air conditioning, heaters, refrigeration, sewer and drain cleaning, backhoe trencing, and crane service. And they are your geothermal specialists. Contact them at 580-254-5864 or stop by 116 East Main Street.
It's the 5 hours you spend in the kitchen mastering your famous recipe or spending quality time with your family. Other insurance companies may just see it as a house. It's not just a house, it's your home. Hi, I'm State Farm Agent Kevin Kanzler, and I see your home as the time and memories you put into them. I understand what your things really mean to you, and I'm here to help give them the protection they deserve. My office is located on the corner of 13th and Oklahoma and Woodward, or call me at 580-256-2216 for your home insurance today.
On Point Land Survey can take care of all your residential, commercial, and industrial survey needs. This family-owned and operated business proudly serves Northwest Oklahoma and Southwest Kansas. These lifelong Northwest Oklahoma residents with over 19 years of experience are ready to serve you with the latest equipment and capable trucks to get your job done. Call On Point Land Survey today at 580-256-6757 or at 1918 Main Street in Woodward, Oklahoma, or visit their website at onpointlandsurveyok.com. Professional, trusted, local.
This is Todd McHugh
And Jackie Jones.
with Woodward County Abstract, Dewey County Abstract, and Fairview Abstract. I would like to thank everyone in Woodward and Northwest Oklahoma for choosing us for their real estate title and closing needs this past year. We will be offering new services in 2020, including bilingual closings, internet closings, and digital abstracting.
We look forward to making real estate closings faster, simpler, and more efficient for you in the future.
We want to thank you for your continued support and business.
Hi, I'm Connie Rowland in the mortgage department at Bank 7. Bank 7 is a full-service bank with over 40 years of combined experience. Melinda Russo and I are a dynamic duo team committed to making your loan process smooth. With a variety of loan products, we would love to sit down with you and discuss your loan options in person, or we offer online and over-the-phone application processing. The Woodward branch is located at 34th in Oklahoma. Find us online at mortgage.bank7.com, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Bank 7 is an equal housing lender, NMLS 677297, phone 580-254-0100, where our best investment is you.
Hey, we're back.
We are back. Okay, so multiple offers. I think that this is important because it can be a really tense situation.
If you're in Oklahoma City, Edmond, Mustang, Yukon, it's
a very tense situation.
Crazy, insane down there. And not that I'm not sure we're going to get there in Woodward yet. We've been there.
We've been there recently, and I think that's exactly why we wanted to talk about this. So first off, multiple offers means that so a property is for sale, and then all of a sudden the seller is presented with more than one offer to purchase their property. Now, that doesn't mean they all come in like at the exact same time at 5:05 on a Tuesday, but all of a sudden the seller gets an offer, and then before they have accepted that offer, they have another one come in. Mm-hmm. So this recently happened, and it was one that we had kind of already we had already established protocol on how we wanted to handle this. And so we ran it past the seller, we handled it, but we wanted to explain on the air, we wanted to tell everyone else what we do and why we do it so that people could have a lot more security and the integrity of how we handle these things in our office.
Correct. Because.
So, especially us, because I don't like them, so I wanted it to be specific.
Yes.
I mean, I do like them. It's exciting
Rules.
for the seller, but it's terrifying that somebody will think they didn't get fair treatment, and we want everybody to know they do.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember a time, this is why, I remember a time when my offer got beat by the listing agent's offer by $100. And I thought, man, that's really suspicious. Now, it's happened to you.
And I didn't think it, and I don't think it was suspicious.
Right. So, but it was since it was, well, since it was.
This is interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and the buyer, my buyer, actually, I mean, they really were like, well, I can't believe we only got beat by $100. That had to be played, or you know what I mean. So what happened? So the way we do that we came up with the system to prevent any doubt that could happen. Okay,
so interestingly, so you pulled up this information from National Association of Realtors. So we are realtors with a capital R, which means that we abide by code and ethics of the National Association of Realtors.
Correct.
And so they have said that we don't go by our own protocol, but that we have to run our protocol past the seller, and the seller actually tells us how they want us to handle their multiple offers. Most of our sellers want us to do it exactly the way that we're going to share with you. I've not ever had a seller tell us not to do it this way.
Right.
So this is how we do it. This is why we do it. So first things first, multiple offers come in, and there's all kinds of funny scenarios. So multiple offer can be, it can be all of the agents. It can be multiple agents in our office. It can be multiple agents with us having an offer, as well as a different agency having an offer. But the important part is really how we handle looking at the offers and talking to the seller. So I think recently we had two recently. We've had like two in 1 month.
Saturday, I was doing with the for sale by owner, and we've
had three in a month because we've had one north of town, one with the competing broker that he had the seller, and then your one with your for sale by owner. So we've had three.
Oh, like south of town. Got it.
That's north. That is not south.
Talking about bucks.
Stop.
It's
That's
south.
a competing agent.
Got it.
No, here I'm going to write him down for you because I know
it.
what I'm saying.
I got it now.
Okay, so anyway, so here's how this works. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the one with Buck. So Buck is a competing broker.
Yes.
And we think very highly of him, and so we were super comfortable. We knew that he was going to handle his appropriately, and I don't know how he handled it. I didn't ask him, hey, what's your protocol? Mm-hmm. But we have complete faith in him. So we call and say, hey, we just sent you an offer, and his response was, are you kidding me? And we're like, why is this a problem? And he says, another agent from your office just sent an offer too. And he said, nobody's been looking at this house. It's been on the market for
a year.
Forever. And so we've had no offers. Nobody's been looking. And then all of a sudden, two agents from the same office present an offer to him at a competing agency for his seller. And so it does happen, and it's bizarre.
Right. And so that's easy because he just solely represented the seller side.
Right. So for him, it was super simple.
Right.
Okay. So here's the thing I want to just highlight. I don't know how many times it's happened like that, that a buyer will call and say, I want to make an offer. I finally chose my house. And we say, oh my gosh, it just went under contract. And like they're distraught. But it absolutely happens like that. I mean, we were talking about this with cars yesterday because you had found a red Jeep. Red is Keller Williams colors and Jeeps are my thing. So I was all excited because it was shiny. Mm-hmm. And then you're like, sorry, man, the seller said he's been trying to sell it for months.
7 months.
And all of a sudden, everybody wanted it on the same day. And we were like, I don't know, 10 minutes too late.
Probably. Yeah.
So anyway, so interesting how this happens because, but it does, it always happens. And it doesn't mean that there's any mischief.
Right.
It just happens that multiple offers come in at the same time on these crazy properties. So, okay, so if we have the seller and we have 2 offers come in, one from, 2 offers from a different agency, not anybody from our own office, or even if it's from our office and from another agency, but not our buyer,
Right.
we're still going to maintain the conversation with our seller.
Correct.
And help our seller to know what the offer is.
Yes.
So we do a net sheet. We explain the loan type, we explain the contract, and then the seller can decide what they want to do, right?
Right.
But what if we have a buyer
So
and
then
it's
we
our
would
seller?
So in other states, they call it dual agency, where we represent both buyer and seller. Oklahoma doesn't really have that. We have what's called transaction brokers. And so we represent the transaction. So we can...
They don't even call it that anymore, but that's the best way to call it is a transaction because we're working for the benefit of the transaction.
Correct.
We want a happy buyer and a happy seller.
Yes.
And they're happy whenever they have the highest dollar and the lowest offer. And so that's what we do. We work for that transaction. And that makes for a lot happier closing.
Right. So back to that. So if we have the buyer and seller, and then another offer comes from a different agency, there's where some doubt can come in.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And so to avoid that, that's what we're talking about. A lot of the systems and stuff we've put in place.
All right. So this happened to us. Like I said, we've had 3 in the last month, which is so bizarre for having a higher inventory than we have had in a long time. And for everyone saying, because I don't know how many times we hear people tell us the market's crashing. Y'all, our market is not crashed. Yep. So, okay, so here's what we do. So we have an agent. I'm working on typing an offer for you. You say, hey, so-and-so wants to make an offer. Get it typed. I'm typing. I'm sending it off for DocuSigns. And then I get a phone call from another agent, and she says, hey, I need disclosures. I'm about to make an offer. And immediately, you and I converse, and I send out an email so that we have documentation, send out a text message, send out an email, and say, hey, I just need you to understand this is going to be a multiple offer situation. And I say this in all caps, like I'm literally yelling in the email, do not send me your offer. Because usually agents send me their offer, CC you, and I do all that work, and then you talk to the people. Isn't this funny how it works?
I just get to talk, except on the radio.
Hey, would you like me to be quiet? It is going to be
week.
the Brian and Kindra Less show.
Next week.
Okay, so you're all like red because you know you need me. You know you need my voice and my words. Okay, so gosh dang it, where was I? Oh, I send out the email.
Right.
And I'm like, whatever you do not send me your offer. Do not send me your offer. And so we give her an alternative agent to send the offer to.
Right.
So the other agent in our office, it's Laura, our office manager. She is a highly qualified.
Licensed.
She's licensed, but she's a qualified realtor who can handle this. And so she takes the offers. I send my offer to her. The other agent sends her offer to Laura. And Laura goes through the numbers, and then she discusses it with the sellers.
Right.
I think that went really well last time.
It went great, yes. And so sometimes, since we had already knew what my buyer's offer was, I stayed with my buyer, and then Laura took care of the seller. Sometimes, if I know an offer's coming in, I step out and I just manage just the seller side.
Right.
And then that way, but we already knew what my offer was going to be, so we needed to make sure that when Laura presented them both to the seller, that there was no... She didn't tell them which agents they were. They just told them, here's the 2 offers. Which would you like to accept, reject, or counter?
And it's tricky even then because a lot of times we're thinking dollar, but it's not just dollars. So last week when Connie was here, we were talking about different loan types. An FHA loan type is a little bit stricter of a loan type than a conventional loan type. Obviously, cash is going to be least restrictive as far as requirements from an appraisal or not needing an appraisal. And so those things are super important, not just the bottom dollar, but bottom dollar plus
whatever's written in that contract. I mean, maybe my contract is higher, but maybe I've also been like, I need 6% closing cost. I want your refrigerator, and I want your firstborn as well. Yep. Not really. Please don't give me any more children. Okay. Or dogs. I think I'm over dogs too.
Yeah. I was a few years ago, 20 years.
But I had this one dog I liked so much. I just can't get another one like him. Okay, so what's next?
So that's the multiple offer situation there.
So how does the seller respond? I think that's what's next.
Yeah, so the seller will... there's lots of options.
Do you want me to tell you what happens next?
You got me. You just included me in the conversation. I was like, I don't know what to do now.
He's all, you never let me talk. I let him talk. Look what happens. He freezes. Okay, go ahead. Tell us.
So the seller then gets to choose. So we'll weigh out, like she said, the type of loan, the potential repairs, all that. And then the seller can accept it.
Right.
Just pick one.
Right.
Reject them both.
Uh-huh.
They don't have to accept one. Or they can counter one. Can they counter both?
I sure wouldn't, because I don't think you can sell one house two times.
We tell people just make sure you counter one of them. Pick one that you think's the best. And so, like, if you have a conventional loan and a cash transaction, then obviously you'd want to counter the cash one first.
Right.
And then bounce. If that doesn't work, then you go to the other one. And then we've had some times where they've countered and lost the whole deal because I'm not going to say greedy.
We saw that this year too, didn't we? I know that we did, but I can't. Well, I'm not going to tell you.
But yes, I mean, I've been there before where the seller counters one and then goes and counters the other, and then neither one of them happen.
Absolutely.
And so it is a tricky, slippery slope sometimes. But
okay, so what we've seen recently, what we've been doing the last, since I've been with you in February of 18, what we've done is I don't know who came up with it. We have this beautiful multiple offer form. And so most of our sellers are looking at the offers and they're saying, I just want to counter both of them to tell me the best offer. And so they submit back this form that says, we want your best and highest offer by tomorrow or the next day or whatever, a week from now at 5 p.m. And then they can take all those offers back and look and decide which one that they want.
Right.
They don't have to accept your offer just because you presented it. They can still counter. And so that's what we just did even. And we presented the best and highest offer form. So our buyer presented an updated offer to Laura. And then the other agents also did the same. And then the seller looked at them and then they said, okay, so we're going to take the other agent. So let me just make a little note here. We lost. I can't even say it.
It's hard.
You say it.
Our seller won.
You're a loser.
No, our seller won.
Okay, so Brian can't say it either.
No.
Okay, so our poor buyer did not win, but our seller did. But the seller looked at it, and even though he was more pleased with the bottom dollar, was not as pleased with some of the words in the contract. And so he actually countered his better offer, and then they were able to come to an agreement.
Yep.
So I think that's another important thing, because I think that we think we're going to present the best and highest. Me as a buyer, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna submit my offer over the asking price, and it's cash. I'm gonna get it. Not necessarily. Seller can still counteroffer me, and the seller's in the driver's seat. I mean, legit, he really is, or she, whatever. Okay, so you were talking a minute ago about the $100 difference.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my story.
Okay.
And this is.
This
one just makes me crazy. So I may have even told this on the radio before, but I think it's so important because, this was way back when when I first started the game. You were already a pro, I guess you thought. But anyway, so I had this couple, and they were an investor. They had presented an offer on a foreclosure property. Foreclosures can be an absolute booger when we're submitting offers. So they submit their offer. I was pretty sure we were going to get it, and we didn't. The offer ended up being in our office, so it had been one of those where the guy that I was working with had taken the other part, and I had taken my part, so I didn't see his, he didn't see mine, but we got them presented. So after I'm told that my offer was rejected, and we cried a few little tears, my investor went on to purchase a different property, and then I see the back part of everything else that has happened. So as I'm at closing with my buyer on this other property, their second choice, not their first choice, my buyer says, I bet if I had paid, I think he said $1,000. I bet if I'd offered $1,000 more, I could have had that property. And I remember looking him straight in the eye, and I said, $1,000? You'd have paid $1,000 more? And he said, yeah. I said, the winning offer was $100 more. You lost it, You lost it by that. And it was this huge point to me that in Woodward especially, I think, because we have such a weird market. You never know what's going to happen. If it's something that you want and you've got your heart set on it, you need to make your best offer.
Yeah.
You need to be ready. When I make an offer in town, I have to be ready to lose it. Or I need to make the offer that's going to make me be like, oh, if I didn't get it, I didn't get it, because it's a big deal.
Sometimes I ask that.
$100.
Sometimes I ask that question, like they're working on their offer, and I'm like, let's say it's $100,000 asking price, and I tell them, I said, so you make an offer $100,000 and you lose it, are you going to be upset? And they go, yes. How about if the next guy pays $105? What would you offer? He goes, I don't know, maybe $106. I said, so if you lost it for $107, would you have paid $107? Would you pay that? And so we kind of played that game till we find the breaking point.
Absolutely.
Like, no, I would walk away for $110. I would pay $109. I'm not paying $110.
Right.
And so we play that game most of the time on these foreclosures, because a lot of these foreclosures, it's like, this is the minimum we'll take. We're going to throw it on the market at 50. Right. This is the minimum we're going to take. And I think a lot of people don't understand that they're going to make offers. They just want to make an offer because they want to win, and so they offer less.
Right.
I have an investor that has won lots and lots and lots of foreclosures because we
don't give out all the secrets.
Offer more. Always have more. We got to take a quick break.
We'll be right back.
Homeowners and business owners, do you want to know how to extend the life of your home or commercial building? Call APC LLC in Woodward. APC specializes in installing high-quality 5-inch and 6-inch seamless guttering and custom commercial guttering. Whether it's a small system or a large system, APC can help. Call APC LLC at 580-571-2384. That number again is 580-571-2384 for all your seamless gutter needs.
Our home is usually our largest investment, and we insure it against damage. One unseen destructive force not covered by most insurance policies is termites, which can infest a house for years before being detected. Termites cost U.S. homeowners an estimated $5 billion annually in treatment and repairs. Using the Centricon termite bait system, JCP Services can protect your home from the threat of a termite infestation. Call 580-334-5380. Again, 580-334-5380.
Stop in to Modern Appliance on Main Street today to see powerful Maytag brand kitchen appliances available in a finish inspired by cast iron. Cast iron black is a hard-working, matte finish that is as tough as it is timeless, so you can trust it to help resist scratches while helping hide fingerprints and minor dents, and stand up to the everyday. Add an iconic look to your home with cast iron black kitchen appliances from Maytag brand. See it at Modern Appliance, 2102 Main, or online at modernappliancewoodward.com.
For 150 years, Sherwin-Williams has been an industry leader in the development of technologically advanced paint and coatings. As the nation's largest specialty retailer of paint and painting supplies, Sherwin-Williams is dedicated to supporting both your do-it-yourselfers and painting professionals with exceptional products, resources to make confident color selections, and expert personalized service that's focused on your unique project needs. Sherwin-Williams is your neighborhood paint store. Stop by and see them, 2101 Oklahoma Avenue, or call them 580-256-5861. Hey, we're back, and it's the Brian and Kindra Show. And we thank you for being here today. We are with Keller Williams Realty Elite, and we're doing this show to give you some information about real estate. It's our main. We do that for a living. That's what we love to do. We love our people. We love our customers. And so we do this show every week. We want to thank our sponsors: Bank 7, Woodward County Abstract, Comfort Zone, Kevin Cancer with State Farm, On Point Land Survey, APC, JCP.
He's going to be a guest pretty soon again. Jake is.
Great. And then Sherwin-Williams and Modern Appliance. And so without them, this show is a lot more complicated. And so we appreciate them sponsoring it and help us with all that. And so we put it online every week at the Brian and Kindra Show. It's on YouTube and on iTunes. So go check us out and share us. So anything else we need to hit before we leave in 30 seconds?
No, I just wanted to make sure that I just wanted our buyers and sellers to understand that we have protocol in place so that we can handle the multiple offer situation with the utmost integrity. It's really important to both of us.
Yeah, we it's because of the hard feelings that have happened.
Yes, it's an
because
emotional
people
situation.
Question And a lot of people, I mean, that's when it's like when people question, they don't have all the information. And so that's the reason we came up with this situation. And we know we'll be dealing with it again.
We will.
And I think it's probably sooner than later. So
Oh,
we'll see you guys we'll hear you next week, or you'll hear us. Appreciate you listening, and we'll check you later.
Your new favorite, Classic Hits 107.3 KLSI Moreland Woodward. Tell a friend.